First Watch Now.
What you need to know from the Cochise County Sheriff's Office.
Hosted by Cochise County Public Information Officers Carol Kappas and Grady Butler. First Watch on 92.3 KWCD.
And it's brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative, giving you an inside look into your sheriff's office. I'm Grady Butler, and with me is Carol Kappas, Public Information Officer with the Sheriff's Office, and Sheriff Mark Daniels. Good morning.
Good morning, Cochise County.
A festive hello to everybody.
Yeah. You're in this Christmas spirit already, I see.
Not really, but I wanted to say that.
Well, listen to our 12 Days of Christmas safety and security.
Yes, those started yesterday,
Yes.
yeah.
I saw that, but I don't like listening to myself, so I didn't listen to it.
All right, well, let's start with thanking Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative. As we wrap up the year, they are the sponsor of this show, and we want to thank them for having us on for an entire year.
A big shout out to SSVEC and all their men and women that work there and that support the community and keep the power on, especially with all the lights. It's Christmas time. Got to relate that. But number two is, I just want to say thank you for sponsoring this show, but also doing so much for the community. There's not an event that goes on in Cochise County that, whether you're in Benson, Wilcox, Douglas, Sierra Vista, that they're not sponsoring it. So they do a lot of good.
So thank you to SSVEC, and we look forward to doing this again next year. As a matter of fact, our next show will be in January.
It will. I mean, this is our last show of 2022. I know. Pull over if you're going to cry. Pull over so you don't drive with moistured eyes. But yeah, this will be our last show of 2022.
Just a lot of stuff going on, trying to get everything done and regroup, and looking forward to 2023.
We are. I it's fresh. Nothing really changes but the day and the number. But the reality is, mentally, it's a way to restart another year.
And it's always good like that.
Well, let's kind of go back a little bit. Let's talk about some of the Christmas events we've already taken place in, like the Tombstone Parade.
Yeah, Tombstone Parade last Saturday night. It was a good parade. It actually was 40-some, 50-some participants in the parade. We led it with the Tombstone Marshal's office, and it was a decent crowd. It really was. So, but that's like, our fifth parade, Carol, sixth parade. And it's like,
oh, yes.
My hands are freezing. It's like you're shaking them out the window. It's cold. But so it was a nice parade, though. And
then they also had two Shop with the Cops. So they had the Benson one and Sierra Vista one. So big shout out to Kirsten and to Anna for putting those on. And they had Santa fly in and all kinds of good times. And we had our staff at both of those. So thank you so much for everybody participating and allowing us to help these kids.
There's no better thing you can do at Christmas is to help a child. I'm big on that. I mean, I went over and I had two youth that I shopped with. Nikki and I went over there, and it's just something special about that when you can help a kid or put a smile on a kid's face. And I'm going to conclude my community message at the end of this show with that too. So,
and stocking stuffers.
Stocking stuffers. A couple weeks ago, we took the donated gifts from the community, which is pretty much a community-supported event, over to a church where we wrapped them all up, Community Wrap Day. Brought them back to the warehouse where we store them, and tomorrow they get delivered. I think there's like 700 kids that are going to be the recipients of this program. And this is, again, community-driven program through San Pedro Kiwanis and Just Kids, Inc. So tomorrow morning around 8 o'clock, Cochise County Sheriff's Office Search and Rescue Team and Sheriff's Assist Team and some of my deputies will be picking up those gifts at the warehouse along with some other organizations and delivering them around Cochise County. So expect to see a deputy at your door or a Sheriff's Office employee to come over and deliver those gifts.
In a good way.
In a very good way. I mean, we first started that 4 or 5 years ago working with San Pedro Kiwanis. There was a question, is this good to have law enforcement coming in? And I said, yes, it is. I mean, this is a good community that's supported through law enforcement and law enforcement support and community. So, yes, and it has been. It's been a great relation builder for law enforcement. So we'll be out there tomorrow.
And you'll also be having fun with the Glow Ride.
Glow Ride tomorrow night. Yes, that's a huge event. Jai has put that together, and many in the community support that. And this year our Sheriff's Assist team will be out there assisting with traffic flow, keep everybody safe. And then I'll be out there the introduction for it all, get it kicked off, and so I'll be speaking at that and out there supporting this event. And a lot of the proceeds this year are going to the families from Desert RV, the tragic event we had a few weeks ago. So great cause.
Well, let's look into 2023. We've got some grants that we're going to start using. And there's a few of them, so tell us about the grants we've just received.
Well, we've been very fortunate the last couple of years. I think we're going to be pushing when it's all over and done, if calculations are right, around $75 million. That's incredible numbers. I mean, that's an incredible number. I'm very proud of my staff, the men and women putting this together, and the relationships we have with these people. People just don't give you grants. You have to work to get them. That's where there's a good feel when you receive these notices. But $5 million we got for the building, so we're working on that to get that border operation building going. We got $11 million this week of grants approved. Getting our helicopter, our law enforcement helicopter, back up. That'll be a day and night operation. We're very excited about that. So that'll be coming. We got 15 more vehicles, and these are our trucks that we can go off-road with for the border issue, our pursuit for interdiction purposes, because these will be equipped with some proper equipment to stop pursuits. And last but not least, we got our parity money for recruitment retention. That's the $5,000 for anybody that hires on right now, and $10,000 for our existing deputies and detention officers. So that was $11 million, and then we were notified last night, and we got another $250,000 from the Attorney General's office for. They asked us what we needed. I said public outreach for what you guys do here, for personnel cost, if they go out and work at an event like the county fair, or the national night out, or whatever it may be, school events, that pays for that, so it doesn't come out of our general funds or the taxpayers here locally. Another vehicle for community outreach for marketing. We do parades and things like that. Kids love that. And then also swag. Believe it or not, the little sheriff buttons we give out, the hats, all this kind of stuff, there's a cost to that. So now we have that funding to do that. So it's about $250,000 funding to go statewide communications. So if my deputies are in Phoenix, Flagstaff, they can talk to dispatch here. So we're pushing forward with that, with funding that we just got, upgrades in radios for CCOM, maintenance, that funding's coming through, personnel, border operations that can help us sustain that for, I think, 6 more years. So again, just I think it's about $75 million total over the last couple of years. Of course, we got the $20 million for the jail last session. So just a lot of money coming into Cochise County. And here's the good thing. It offsets our cost. I haven't gone to the board and said, hey, we need money for this on any of the border operations, any of that kind of stuff. We're doing it with outside sources through the state, a little bit through the federal government. So we're excited about that. We're very excited.
And a lot of that money focuses on things that we're dealing with in relation to the border. And so there's, what is your border update for right now so that we can just go ahead and address that?
Well, the border updates, I mean, that's ebb and flow. It's ebb and flow mainly because we have a change in leadership at the state. We've got a new governor coming in as we speak. I don't know what her objectives on the border. I've never met her. I've never sat down with her. I'm going to hold judgment until we have a conversation. She has a plan. I have the sheriff and Yuma and I have spoke. We don't know what that plan is. The other sheriffs in the state, we don't know what that plan is. 2 of the sheriffs do know, but I don't know what it is. I don't know what she's going to do until she gets there. And then the prejudger would be foul on my part. We all have opinions, but I'm going to reserve that until I sit down with her. We've invited her here. Carol, you sent the notice out. This ain't our first invite, but to have her come down and meet with community leaders, and let's have this roundtable. I mean, you're the governor of the state. We have mayors and myself as a sheriff and other elected officials that let's get in a room and talk about Cochise County. I mean, what happens in Maricopa is not my business. What happens in Navajo is not my business. What happens in Cochise is, and that's where I was elected to serve. So we'll see where that goes. We have the border issue with the containers. There's an injunction right now by Department of Justice. I'm going to reach out to the governor today and have a discussion with him on that. A lot of media hits on us, as we know, Carol. Everybody wants to talk about that, and I don't care about the motions of it, the drama of it, the political part of it. I care about what are we doing to secure our border, and I'll continue to say that until we get it secured. And that's why I want to have this conversation with the governor. But as we know, Title 42 is going away December 21st. Next week. That is a huge topic from what I've been briefed on and what I've been told and what I hear, and it's not good because there's no measures to replace it. And I get that. That was a health measure. And there's bets now that will it go away on December 21st? I think it will. It's my opinion, though. We'll see what happens that day, but if it does, I don't think the predictions are going to be good for border communities again, and because we have done nothing to change the flow, the surge, and we see what's going on as a kind of precursor to Title 42 going away on the 21st. So I don't know, but I keep saying to people, I said yesterday, is we need government at all levels to work together right now because our border needs some attention, immediate attention.
And remind everybody what Title 42 is and that it's going away.
Good point, Grady. Title 42 was a health pandemic that states that if you have a health emergency, that Title 42 will restrict flow. People coming into your country, they can immediately be deported back. What it does, it just protects America from health issues. As you know, we're coming out of COVID. There's always that we're peaking again, we're down, we're peaking, and right now, I mean, it's kind of all over the place, but it's going away. So I kind of respect that if we're not going to have a health pandemic in the country that's an emergency, then Title 42 should go away. But here's why I say also, then let's have something in place more than what we have now, because there is nothing. All the measures from the previous administration, the messaging from the current administration and congressional folks has been absent and quiet. I mean, we don't even recognize we have a border issue from the federal government. So that leaves state and locals to deal with this, and that's never a good picture. I'll just tell you, this is a mandate of the federal government, not local.
Well, let's talk about jobs for a minute, because the jail is always hiring. And remember, there's a $5,000 sign-on bonus.
That's right.
You can sign on there. But also, CCOM is hiring.
CCOM's hiring. We've had some serious staffing shortages. I want to give a shout-out to Carol here. Carol, thank you for you, Tammy Jo, you, and the operations committee working to get some things going. But we have fought staffing for over a year. Now, I get there's a national trend. I also think we can do things better. I'll just be the first to say it. So we're doing some innovative things, cutting edge, to get out there, working with our CCOM staff and leadership to get that done. And Carol, I want to thank you. We've done this before we regionalized with our dispatch, was a dispatch academy. And if you could hit on that, what we're doing with Cochise College.
Yeah, and thanks to Eric Brooks at Cochise College and President JD for everything that they're putting into this. You know, they're investing in our future for Cochise County, which they do every single day with Cochise College anyway, but they specifically are going out on a limb and giving this a try. They're going to pay for all of the college cost, and if you're selected to be in this academy, we're looking for 20 people to fill seats, and once they get that done, it's going to be a 6-week academy. You'll get 6 credit units out of it that you do not have to pay for. There's one lab fee that you most likely will, and that'll be for a uniform shirt. But other than that, you get the 6 credits, and again, you'll be paid by, if you're selected, you'll be paid by the City of Sierra Vista under CCOM employee, and you'll be a dispatch trainee through the academy. So you get hired, and you start getting paid within a couple weeks, and then you go through the academy, and then 6 weeks later, you're ready to launch into your actual career in CCOM physically, because prior to that, you'll be at the college. So it's just a good way to give you background and ease you into the position, and making sure that you have the tools that are necessary to be successful.
You know, and a big shout out to Cochise College again, President Wattweiler and his team, for opening the door for us on this. Mm-hmm. It's an opportunity for our community to get educated, bring a certification, and then go back into the job force and get paid for it. Mm-hmm. It's an impressive, and I thank you all the work you're doing to scramble to get this academy off in January. But again, it's similar to a police academy. If you really want to look at it, we want you to get in the seat there, we'll pay you, and then we'll get you certified, we'll get you all qualified, and then in 6 weeks, you're walking into the job.
That's right. And it is a tough job, and you do have shortages, but you know, it's something that's rewarding. It's not for everybody. But I just have to tell you, every single person, not only around the county, so you have the Douglas PD, the Bisbee PD, Wilcoxon, Benson, police department communications people, but CCOM dispatchers, they've been under this stressor for the entire time that they've been open. And you cannot say enough good things about the people who are still there and what a great job that they're doing. So making sure that they're hanging in there. You know, help is on the way. The light at the end of this tunnel is not a train, I promise.
And CCOM's let me define something. CCOM is a creation that the Cochise County Sheriff's Office, we partnered with the City of Sierra Vista. And that's a partnership. And then we have subscribers that use our services. And so the county and city have split up the responsibilities. One of the responsibilities of the city is the hiring part, the HR part, human resource part. And then the county does maintenance, IT, the facility, things like that. So we have a shared agreement there. So when you want to apply through the City of Sierra Vista.
For making sure, because they created this position, so they have a CCOM trainee, and then they have a CCOM Academy trainee. So if you're interested, you know, apply for either one. But if you're interested specifically in the Academy right now, make sure you hit up on that Academy, because there's 2 separate processes right now, and we want to make sure we get it squared away with, you know, people being in the right process.
Right. And Our venture is to have one process.
Correct.
I mean, these two, I know it's confusing, so I apologize. We've already discussed that with the city during our meetings. But, yeah, that's our ultimate goal, is to have one process. You apply, you go right into the academy, with maybe some exceptions for a senior dispatcher maybe already has all that. But so similar to an officer's already certified. They wouldn't have to go back through all that. So, again, we're excited.
And, Sheriff, you sent out an internal email to everybody about being a role model because of an incident this week.
Sadly, last Saturday night, we had one of my deputies, who's now former, that made a poor decision to drink and drive, had an accident, left the accident, and during the investigation, it was discovered he was the driver, and subsequently he has been arrested for that. Also, as a result of that email came out from me, which is a reminder of what I expect as a sheriff, and that is to be a role model. And role models set examples in communities, both on and off the job. And this was not a role model act by one of my team members. And we met with him yesterday, and he resigned. I mean, and that's one thing I'm very proud of, is our culture is very, very strong. I mean, I go back to the oath of office, and that says you obey the laws of the state of Arizona and support our Constitution. And he went out and broke the law. That's his first expectation, that he fractured, and then everything after that just is a domino effect. So he resigned. I commend him. He is very mature, very responsible to the actions, and so besides losing his career with us, he's also tarnished his reputation, and he's been a good deputy. I'm just going to say that. I will commend him for his service to this community, but that one act changed everything for him. And I tell people that our safety message is, don't drink and drive. And that goes for the community. It goes for my employees. We're not above the law. And sadly, he turned his life upside down here on this. And it's very sad. And it was a tough meeting for him yesterday because, again, he has served this office. He has served the community very well. But one night of a poor decision. And that goes for anybody. I mean, if I go out and drink and drive and get a DUI as a sheriff, I won't be a sheriff anymore. I will resign. I mean, the bottom line is that's what we have to do. Otherwise, we'd be terminated either I get terminated by the public, or he will be terminated through our process. So, and he saw the writing. That's worth maturity, and he moved on from it. So.
And so, speaking of your oath of office, you were addressing that again yesterday too, because you swore in 2 new deputies.
We did. We had 2 new deputies, and when we hired deputies, detention officers, support staff, volunteers, all these team members, that is when they raise their hand and say, "I will affirm to the following." That's a serious oath. It's not just a formality we go through. It's whether you're serving in the military for your country, whether you're serving in law enforcement, government, whatever it may be, as a mayor, that oath means something. And I really wish people would refresh it every year. And some of my elected colleagues, and I'm not saying that in a mean way, because it's so vital to understand that we serve the people. And so do my deputies, detention officers, and this was, going back to this incident, this was tough. It really was. And I saw some of the comments last night. Well, he got away with what? The man lost his career, took responsibility, but he lost his career with the sheriff's office. And he's got to go through post now, which is going to probably be a suspension revocation. He's also, his family's affected by this. I mean, all that. And he's got to go through the criminal justice system for the charges. So what did he get away with? I'll challenge anybody that. Those are social media bullies that say that kind of stuff because they don't have the facts, or they don't care to have the facts. They just want to spout. So, welcome to social media. But no, there's nothing good out of this for anybody.
What is your community message of the week?
Well, as we conclude, let me go back to a safety message too before I hit the community message, and that is, folks, don't drink and drive. We've said that. We had a very serious accident last Saturday night in Tombstone where a motorcycle driver, suspected of being impaired, has been charged leaving Tombstone. This is exactly when the parade was going on. I heard it come on my radio when I was in the parade, where he went through the Border Patrol checkpoint, hit the barricade, flew and hit an agent. They think, okay, yeah, you got roughed up. That agent's in critical condition and not doing well. I mean, it's not a good situation. I was talking the other day to the leadership from Border Patrol, and we talked about this. Drinking and driving has no positive at all, and the consequences are deadly. I mean, so again, I my thoughts and prayers for the agent out there that's trying to recover from this, and the Border Patrol family. But also, I mean, as we move into the holidays, I mean, spiritual liquors are everywhere. I mean, if you're going to drink, be responsible. Do not drive. And we'll have DUI task force out with the Southeastern Arizona DUI task force. And if we catch you, there's a really good chance you're going to go to jail. So don't ruin your holidays, folks, and don't ruin others.
And there's one final thing that we've been dealing with on social media is a situation in Wilcox with animal control. So did you want to hit on that so that people know basically what's going on with that?
Yeah, it goes back to as we conclude our community message, but I want to make it a positive, not negative. But we have a partnership with USDA. They're a federal agency that we do a partnership with, and they deal with the feral animals, the rabies, like skunks, other animals. They deal with that. My animal control officers their job expectations is domestic animals. Dogs and cats, pretty much what we work with. Not saying we don't get involved in some other stuff, but truly they deal with dogs and cats. Well, we've been getting complaints up in the northern part of Wilcox area for feral animals. And I'm just going to say this. I mean, people like to jump on us right away when it comes to these feral animals. How about the people that dump these dogs that become undomesticated and then become feral and dangerous to a community? Don't forget those people. Shame on them, too. And we just had an incident a few months ago. We charged a lady that actually dumped dogs up in the Car Canyon area. And we'll continue to do that if we catch you. But going back to it is, so USDA goes out there and they terminate these dogs because they chase domestic dogs, they chase children, you name it. They put communities at risk. I think there was 6 dogs disposed of yesterday.
Correct.
Our animal control officers go out there, too, because if there is a domestic dog that's running loose, we want to make sure that dog is isolated and also secured so we can get it back to the rightful owner. That's why we do that. Well, there was an allegation made by an individual yesterday that says she has a video that she saw LEO, and I don't think it was one of our vehicles, but either way, it's LEO run over a dog. Well, I've never heard of us just running over a dog intentionally. And if that is the case, we'll address that. We've asked for the video. We've asked any complaints, contact our office, and this spun up into a big thing. People just jump all over social media. I've asked my special ops lieutenant to get a hold of her and ask for a copy of that video. We're either going to prove or disprove that happened. And if we prove it didn't happen, I will make sure this community knows about it. If it did happen, you'll have results of what we're going to do to address that. So these things, to make an allegation that is either true or untrue, especially if it's untrue, we're going to isolate that. So that's my goal. I'm going to put that out to the public right now. I've already signed that out, and hopefully I'll have an answer here very soon. But if you, and she didn't call our office, and we got to her and said, listen, here's the number, call us, let's file a complaint, let us address this. She never did. I don't know this person. I don't. But if you're going to make an allegation, an egregious allegation that gets a community in uproar, let's work together on that.
All right, before you do give your community message, let's thank Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative one more time, because this is our last show of 2022, and we're looking forward to them helping us in 2023. Thank you.
Thank you, SSVC, and thanks to the men and women for what you do every day out there.
Thank you so much.
Now your community message.
Community message is very simple, folks. 2022 has been a unique year. On the heels of COVID, politics, midterm elections, no matter where you stand on it, we all need to take a breath. I think we all would agree with that. Let's take a breath. Let's get balanced out. Let's get the bubble back in the middle. Let's get personally balanced, professionally balanced. Let's just get back into that middle, and let's push 2023 embracing each other. Embrace yourself. Embrace each other. And there's no better time to do it as we move into Christmas, the holidays here, to do that. And one of my things I want to reach out, I hit at the beginning, was this is all about Christmas. This is all about children. If you know a child in need, go buy a gift and give a child. Whether it be a neighbor kid, some kid you see walking down delivering the mail, reach out to a kid. There's something about putting a smile on a kid during Christmas, to me, is most important. And I'm going to try to take some time off today and do shop for my grandkids today, so that's my goal. But seriously, if you know a kid, there's nothing better than putting a kid on, smile on a kid. And then, again, I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and Happy New Year. And we're looking forward to see you in 2023.
Well, Sheriff Mark Daniels, we thank you for coming and talking to us
Grady,
today.
Thank you. Carol, thank you. And thank you both for what you do on this show.
Thank you.
You guys do amazing work. Thank you all.
And Carol, who do we have coming in next?
We have Melanie from the Chamber.
First Watch on KWCD Country is brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
It's First Watch Now.
Hosted by Public Information Officer Carol Kappas and Grady Butler.
On 92.3 KWCD.
And it's brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative, giving you an inside look into your sheriff's office. I'm Grady Butler, and with me is Carol Kappas, Public Information Officer with the Sheriff's Office, and our next guest.
Welcome back, Cochise County, and thank you so much for being here, Melanie. We appreciate it.
Good morning.
So tell us a little bit about Light Up Sierra Vista.
So this is our third year, our third annual Light Up Sierra Vista, and we have about 30 homes and businesses registered, and it's a great way to go out any night between, it was actually December 10th and December 25th, and look at the Christmas lights. We have so many people out there and businesses that just had a great time decorating their homes and businesses, and it's a great thing to do with the family or friends. Go out there, look at the Christmas lights anytime between 5:30 and 9 p.m. They're supposed to have their lights on. So any night of the week, any night of the weekend, you can go out and you can actually vote for your favorite as well.
What does somebody get if they win?
So we have these wonderful signs that are made by Alpha Graphics, and they can go in the front yard of a home or in the front yard of your business, and that way everybody can drive around and see, and then we'll post that on social media as well.
There's a map for this as well.
There is a map, and so if you download our app, just type in Sierra Vista Area Chamber of Commerce. You'll see our wonderful logo, and download the app, and you can get to a Google map that way. And then the Herald Review also has it in the paper. And so make sure you pull that out. If you can't do the Google map, you can pull out that map and take that with you and drive around and see the lights.
And who judges them?
So we have the Herald Review gets to judge, and then the Chamber gets to judge, and then also the community gets to judge.
So when the Chamber group is doing their judging, when is the final date? When do you make a determination of who wins?
So the final date is the 21st.
Okay, so that's going to be Wednesday, I believe.
Pretty soon here.
So while you're judging, do you judge just one time? Like, do you go out one time and hit so many houses, or do you go out one time and hit all the houses? How do you do that?
So we actually went out last night and we judged all of them. And so I was listening to Sheriff Daniels on the way over here, and he was talking about don't drive drunk. And sometimes we like to have a little something in our hot cocoa when we're driving around. So the best way to do that is obviously do it in a limo. And we were able to do that last night. We were in a limousine, so All Occasion Limousine offered to take us around. So we had such a wonderful time. You might have seen us. We were out driving all over Sierra Vista last night in the white Hummer limo, and it was just a riot. It was so much fun, and it's the best way to see the lights. So if you need their information, it is on our website, svachamber.com. Give them a call and go see the lights in style.
That's right. Hey, that's a great way to get your designated driver, right? Get a
Absolutely.
group, everybody chip in some money, and thanks for them doing that, and just give them a call. That would be a really cool way to celebrate Christmas.
It was so much fun. We had such a great time.
And how can the community vote? What do they need to do?
So they can go out and they can look at all the lights, and then on our app, you can get to the app or get to the voting link right there. And so you just go on there and vote right there, or you can do it on our website.
Okay, so you've got an event coming up really soon in January, I think. But let's kind of look back for a second before we get there. Let's look at 2022. How was it for the Chamber?
Oh, it was a great year for the Chamber. We did so much this year. We had so many meetings with so many candidates for office, lots of meetings with candidates. We had a candidate meet and greet. We had a city council forum and mayoral debate this year. We had a great parade recently, a wonderful parade. And, I mean, we've just had so many different events, our annual gala, military affairs luncheons, Good Morning Sierra Vistas, all ways to bring information to our community and our businesses.
And you do an amazing job at that, you and your entire crew. So thank you so much for getting that done.
Well, thank you. It's all about the community.
And one of the things you do to give back also to businesses is you have a leadership program. And so tell us a little bit about that.
So we're going into our 22nd annual leadership program. So it's been around for a long time, and it is a 9-month program, and one day a month you spend with about 20 other people that are also in the program. You get on a bus and you go learn about our community and communities, because it's actually Leadership Southern Arizona now. And so we have different days with different themes. So you learn from the leaders that pertain to those days, and you learn more about the community. So we have a border day, which is fabulous. We spend a day in Douglas, and we have a law enforcement day, which was one of my favorites when I went through. We have an education day, a health day. There's just so many different days that we have out there, but it's all about learning about leadership, learning how to be a good leader, and learning about our communities and networking.
All right, so tell us how to get a hold of you at the Chamber for that information and for anything else they may need.
So you don't have to be a Chamber member to go through this program, which is wonderful, but you can just go to our website, svachamber.com, and fill out the application. You don't have to pay when you fill that out, but fill out the application form, and those applications close on December 31st. So you want to make sure that you get that application in as soon as possible.
All right. Well, we thank you for coming and talking to us today.
All right. Thank you. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, everyone.
And the Tombstone Film Festival is coming up in January. We've got more information about that coming up next. It's First Watch on KWCD Country, and it's brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
It's First Watch now
on 92.3 KWCD.
And it's brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative, giving you an inside look into your sheriff's office. I'm Grady Butler, and with me is Carol Kappas, Public Information Officer with the Sheriff's Office, and our next guest, Travis. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
And Travis, who are you with today?
So I'm a filmmaker, and I've created the Tombstone Film Festival with my partner John Mars, who's also a Western filmmaker, in association with Tombstone Ford, a nonprofit in Tombstone.
And you guys have got a really cool event coming up in January. Tell us about it.
The Tombstone Film Festival, the first annual Tombstone Film Festival, takes place January 27th through the 29th. And it's really exciting. It's all Western films, feature films, short films that we're playing over a weekend, with many more cool events associated with.
So you get to go and watch these films, and then there's events that go on around the films as well. Give us some of the ideas of some of the films that we'll be able to see.
So you're going to see 2 feature films that came from Texas. I think they're actually both from Texas. One's a Western comedy called Showdown in Yesteryear. Another one is about the African-American Marshal Bass Reeves called Corsicana. And then we have a group of short films that are from all over the country, including one from Sweden. And these are everything from, modern Westerns to traditional Westerns, kind of spaghetti-style Westerns. You got the whole gamut. On top of that, we have some great panels where we have special guests like Western screenwriters, and then we have representatives from Old Tucson that are going to come and talk about that opening back up, and even some representatives from the Arizona Film Office that are going to talk about the new film tax incentive that just passed.
And so is there a price that is like for each thing, or is this just a whole weekend? How does the pricing work?
We're encouraging people to buy festival passes, which gets you access to everything.
Cool.
And what's really cool is Cochise County residents can get a pass for only $30. Wow. It's $50 for everybody else, but we really want Cochise County residents to come out for this. So it's $30 to get into every single screening, the panels, the parties, the whole thing.
Ooh, you said parties. Tell us about those.
So we're going to be doing some parties every night at the Oriental Saloon and the Crystal Palace Saloon. So after the screenings are over, we'll encourage everyone, audience members, filmmakers alike, to come on down and enjoy, just a great time at some of those Tombstone businesses.
This sounds like it's going to be a really fun event.
I think it's going to be great.
All right, so give us the dates one more time, but then right after that, tell us where we can get our tickets.
We are doing the Tombstone Film Festival January 27th through the 29th. It kicks off Friday the 29th with a screening of Terror on the Prairie starring Gina Carano, so don't forget to make it for that. You can find your passes at filmfreeway.com/the Tombstone Film Festival, or you'll be able to contact us if you need additional help finding one.
Give us some other contact information for your organizations or your partner organizations.
You can find us on Facebook. If you search the Tombstone Film Festival, you can find the Facebook group and contact us there. You can also contact me at travismills@runningwildfilms.com. That's my email address, and I can be reached there all the time.
Well, Travis, we thank you for coming and talking to us about this event. We'll have you on again as it gets closer.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
All right. It's First Watch on KWCD Country, and it's brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
You've been listening to First Watch with the Cochise County Sheriff's Office.
Hosted by Cochise County Public Information Officers Carol Kappas and Grady Butler.
Join us again next Friday morning, 7 to 8 a.m.
First Watch.
What you need to know from the Cochise County Sheriff's Office.
Only on 92.3 KWCD.